Not disturb on
Yeah.
Bria. We're live. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are live at YouTube.
Hi guys.
Hi YouTube. Hi Twitch.
Hi YouTube. Hi YouTube. Hi Twitch. Let's see if we go live on LinkedIn as well.
LinkedIn also. Hi LinkedIn.
Hi LinkedIn. Hi YouTube. Hi Twitch.
Hello.
Hi Twitter. All the platforms that thanks to Ersin we are live today. It's nice to see you, team. It's nice to see you as well. It's been 2 weeks since we have been in this format, right?
It's been a
How
while.
are you guys doing?
Oh, great. I have this winter Christmassy feeling. It's there. I'm ready for all the songs, all the movies.
Me too. Like the 1st of December, the last month of the year came too quickly, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
already
happy 1st
crazy
of
to
December
look
to
back.
all.
Yeah.
Ready
Happy
for all the
1st of
songs, all the
December.
movies.
Yeah, it's nice to have you guys here today. This time we are in the same country, so live from Latvia, Liepāja and Riga today to all around the world. This is our bi-weekly get-together where we discuss the social media posts of our previous weeks. We speak about the good, the bad, what we like and love about our work, and also what we might not like that much, just to give you a direct insight of what it's like to be in our shoes and maybe to create a bit more awareness what it's like to be a recruiter out there today, which might not be that easy. But yeah, every week we get together as a team to produce or to come up with ideas for social media content for the upcoming for the upcoming week. And today we're going to look back at the topics of skills and recruitment agency. So these two. Previously, we went on discussing 3 topics, but we thought we have quite a lot to say, and in order to make it too long for all your lunch breaks, we decided to cut it a bit shorter. But I think we have something special prepared because Ersin is joining us later with one of his posts, and I'm personally a big fan of his posts. Yeah, so I will go through one of his posts as well. But yeah, today let's dive in. I don't know who's first. My English today. Whose post is first today? But
I
yeah,
think it's mine.
let's dive in. And everyone, feel free to join the conversation in case you want to ask something, add something, or have a sparkling idea. Just put it below in the chat so that we can discuss it as well. But yeah, let's start with the first post.
Yeah, so, well, we are a recruitment agency, right? All of us guys are here together doing one thing together, which is helping you guys find a cool, a nice job where you can feel happy at. And that is our purpose. That is our purpose from the beginning till the end. And that's the way we do things. And there are many different recruitment agencies out there, like really many. And the mentality differs, the way they do things differs. And for you guys, for a candidate, for a specialist to find a new job, a recruitment agency can be a very big step and part of it. And to find a recruitment agency that fits you is sometimes not that easy, because one thing is what they tell you and one thing is what they do. And like in this post, I did put like some of the green flags that you can see. You can easily see them from the first conversations that you have with the people over at the recruitment agency that you chose. So first of all, when you speak with the person, a recruiter in this case, you in this conversation, of course, they're going to be asking you a lot of questions, which is totally normal. They want to know what your skills are, everything about you as a specialist. But what you can definitely feel from the whole conversation is the person genuinely interested in what you are looking for? is the vacancy that they are offering, and maybe you feel that it's not really for you, and maybe even you express it, but they do continue to push this vacancy on you, like, no, I will apply you, let's see how it goes. Like like I have heard about these stories, and I have had these situations myself where I can feel that I'm not right for the job, and normally the other person should feel it too, especially if I'm expressing it. But if the position, for example, is being pushed onto me even more and more, then I know that this person really only cares about this vacancy and not about me. And in this case, for example, in IT world, you can be a specialist, like a very cool front-end developer, and maybe this vacancy or this company that they offer is not for you. But this doesn't mean that you cannot work with this recruiter in the future. But if it's friendly, if it's like, I know what you're looking for, okay, I recognize that this vacancy is not for you, but hey, let's keep in touch. Maybe there's some other company where you would feel that this is a more fit for you. Let's speak then. Then it's a green flag. If it's like, no, this vacancy, you should try it out. I know it, I don't know, you don't feel like it now, but please do try it out. I will get a big bonus from it. Like you can feel those types of situations. And if this is the case, that it's a red flag, and that this recruitment agency is highly unlikely to be interested in you in a long-term relationship. They are interested in their vacancy and filling out that vacancy, and they don't really care who goes into that vacancy. So this is just one example how you can recognize a good recruitment agency. And there are many more, like for example, this long-term relationship thing is very, very important to us, to me. When I speak with a candidate and I do have one or many vacancies available, I do try always to find out in our first conversation, what is the person looking, what are you looking for, what is important to you? Because if we do things successfully together, then you will get a position where you will be happy for years, and that's the goal. Well, at least to be happy. At least to be happy, yeah. So I would be very interested to know, of course, from all of you guys. It's very interesting always to hear from a candidate as well, what their experience with the recruitment agency has been. What are your guys' thoughts about recruitment process, recruiters in general? There's a lot of stigma attached to a recruiter. So what do you guys think about this?
I think that's the reason why we created Smartest in the first place, to be very honest, because like this not being interested in a candidate, but just pushing the job was one of the things that we saw that can be done differently. Because even if the things don't work out today and the candidate doesn't fit, I mean, like you said, and it's amazing that you think about it, about the process in the long term. Okay, it doesn't fit today, but tomorrow the jobs come and go, really. That's what I tell candidates as well. Today, the job doesn't fit. Let's talk tomorrow. Maybe there's something more suitable. And I think that's more about that, this long-term approach. I do know that some recruitment agencies will look at us and be like, God, good luck earning your money, like with such an attitude, right? But on the other side, like the success speaks for itself, that that's the way how to go about things. And that's, I wouldn't say the future of business, but that's what makes you more successful in your business. And it's nice to hear that people always come back to you and say, hey, like it didn't work out last time, let's try it this time. Or is there another position this time? And that's what's it all about. I mean, I wouldn't say that another approach doesn't work. I mean, in the first days of recruitment, when we started, it did work. But then knowing not that much about recruitment, you just go with the process that is put in front of you. But now getting to know it in a bit more detail, you realize that, at least for us, it was not the way how to go about recruitment, which was why Smartest was born with the basic idea, deliver happiness at work. And that happiness is defined by every person personally. And I think one of the questions, the first ones that we ask for a candidate when we speak with them is, what's important for you? Like, what should the company offer to you that you can imagine being happy there in long term? And then based on that already, I mean, it's one of the first questions, I already know, okay, the role will suit them or it's not going to suit them, you know? And also how quickly you can you can already feel it and face it. But yeah, I'm for long term, really having a chat with each other, candidate, myself, who you are, what you do, what you want to do, and if I can be of help on your way of searching for the role that you would like to have. If it's not today, then not. Then it will be some other day.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ersin, how do you see it?
I look at this topic from more the client side. Happiness is, of course, important, and long term, it will be definitely more and more important. But in the first primary, a good agency fills open vacancies with a good candidate. So that's one of the first most important things. And secondly, they do it in a really fast pace. So yeah, you still have to fill your roles. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
definitely. I think the better question is how could a candidate recognize a good agency with questions? For example, they could ask if the recruiter has a contract with the company, or I don't know, ask deeper questions like why is this role open? Yeah. Or what do you think, guys?
And if they have placed some candidates there before, if so, they will have probably more insights about what it's like to work there. It can give you more personal kind of details about the role as such. Absolutely. Yeah. And if your recruiter is not into replying to these kind of questions or says that they are just looking, to see if someone fits, then I think it's kind of a red flag saying that they are just looking for some candidates, but they might have not actually talked to the company in first place to hear if they want the candidates to be proposed for them. So that is, I think, another topic that we can talk about hours for.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good questions, how to spot a recruitment company that
good points. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say to the next one. The next one.
Yeah, the next one. I like our photo. I haven't seen
Our
it in a
photos
while.
are good.
Yeah. Here is a post of mine that I wrote about jobs. So, because we have a job that we offer to the candidates, but the question is, how do we get to the part where we have this job that we offer to you? So I wrote a little article, a little post about that. It got 2.483 thousand impressions and 35 likes. There was no discussion going on, but still, how do we get our jobs? Good question. I think we touched upon the fact that some companies are looking for candidates for the roles, and companies that they have never talked to before. They look, but there is no contract between the recruiter and the company. So with us, it's definitely not the case. Actually, to give maybe a bit more insights about the basic idea of Smartists that we had in the beginning. So I was very into the candidate part. So I really wanted to just speak with candidates, not be involved into the client side when it comes to actually getting the jobs. And Ersin loves sales, so he thought, or the idea was, that he's going to take over and look for clients, and I will be the one then looking for candidates. At the end of the day, Ersin is also sucked into the search of candidates, I would say, because we were quite lucky in terms of not being in a need of doing sales, because the companies that we currently recruit for reach out to us asking if they could support them in a search for suitable candidates. So how do we do that they actually come to us and ask for this help? It's a very good question. So based on how we see how they approach us, we think that it's because of our social media appearance. We write posts every day, articles, you see videos, we do this live, so it makes us visible for the network that we have. Of course, it's also referrals and candidates that we placed earlier or companies that we worked together with earlier that are now coming to us in a search for new candidates. Because in recruitment world, it's quite cool, because if you have worked in one place, you can kind of take the network to the next company that you go to as well, and see if the clients are interested in coming along and doing that. But yeah, I would say social media, referrals, and of course, networking, also from friends and family. Some of our best clients are the ones that we are supporting today. So yeah, it's more of a that, and it's nice to see how it has unfolded, and yeah, that we don't have to do sales in the term of calling and asking a company if they want to have a support with their open roles. So yeah, that's how it has happened for us. So I think a tip that I could say for people who maybe not that into sales or so, but still want to put their product out there and get customers, is being active on social media. Because really the way how people approach us, or the most frequent quote that I hear is, Liene, I see your posts all the time, so I decided to reach out to you and see if we can come together, if this can work out. And it's very nice, because you never know how big someone's network is. Might be that they really see only your posts on day-to-day basis. So yeah, and I think if you do a good job, you get afterwards referred, and that's how it was worked out so far for Smartist. Yeah.
I
don't
do
know
agree.
Much you want to add, guys? But yeah,
I do agree that the visibility is a very, very big factor. Like that's the way even like the most basic referrals work. Like when you have a pleasant or nice experience with someone and you refer them further somewhere to someone else, it's about the experience that you have had. And for example, if you are, like you said, you are posting all the time, like we are posting all the time, our posts go live almost every day. People do see our thoughts. They, before they even speak with us, you can read our posts and you can basically get the idea of how we work, how we think. And it's very, very important, because that way a person can already figure out if we are the right for them. And so when they come to us, they have already somehow decided that, yeah, well, this is my person. I do think that our interests align and we will have a nice conversation about it. So I think that is very, very cool. And so I do agree that visibility, being out there, social media, posting, it works. It definitely works, and it should not be taken for granted that we can do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting to know the person over the time via posts that they are posting, you know. You kind of read their thoughts on daily basis, even though you don't see them. So you kind of come to your own opinion about them. And then, yeah, you like the way how they go on about things, or you dislike. But I have also heard, I think multiple, like 2 or 3 times at least, that one of our current clients or our current clients have said, Liene, you don't tick like the most of the recruitment companies out there, or your approach seems more like new work kind of a approach that you can use these days, so practical, so different. And that's exactly what we are looking for. And yeah, that's just based on how they got to know us via social media, right?
So definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting. Ersin, how do you see it? Because I mean, the basic idea was different in the beginning, right?
Yeah, it was completely different. Yeah, it is what it is. So it's not a bad thing to don't have the need to do all these calls every day. But in the end, I think, yeah, why not? I have to admit, I miss it a bit to be on the call with clients. But yeah, nowadays you have, I don't know, Teams meetings everywhere, and not the call thing. I think, yeah,
Times are
interesting.
changing.
Times are changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I would say let's jump to the next one.
Mhm.
Oh, today it's not so.
Memes.
Memes.
I love
always.
memes. Oh man.
Oh my God. Yeah, memes are the way to live by. I do find it funny, like most of the posts that I write about, I can always find a funny meme about it. Of course, I will not become that meme girl, so I'm not gonna do it on all of my posts, but if it's funny enough, then it shall be there. Yeah, so communication, guys. Communication is a topic that we have touched upon a few times before, but I think it is still so important, and you could talk about it like every month at least, every time when you speak with a candidate or with a client or with your colleague or with your boss. Communication is everything. It's like, for example, we spoke about recruitment agencies. Communication, very important. How does your recruiter communicate with you? What's the content of their saying? Like if we are explaining a position, if we are talking about your as a candidate's needs, it's all called communication. And you can apply it to any place, anywhere, any person. So when you're speaking with your boss, like how does your boss communicate with you? If it's not good enough, you will not feel good at the company. You will probably resign, naming your boss as the reason, or your manager or your colleague. So when you do communicate anything, be mindful of the way you speak. Of course, there is the saying, do to others what you want done to you. So it's the same with communication. Communicate in the way and the form that you would like to be communicated with. Be kind. You can get your point across by not being mad, by not raising your voice. You can be smart about it. Always bring good arguments. Prepare before any important conversation. Always prepare for it. Picture the conversation in your mind. Make good arguments. Imagine various answers you could get. Always stay on point. Very important thing. Do not for example, me, when I speak in my everyday communication, like with friends, I can never stay on one story straight. Like when I'm telling a story, I'm telling 5 stories at once. It's not the best approach when you go and do it professionally. Please do stay on point. When I'm explaining a vacancy, I will probably stay on that topic for the whole conversation time and not go and speak about, hey, so how was your vacation? Where did you vacate this year? Oh, by the way, I do have this position. Oh, it was Alps, nice. So always when you do communicate with people in the professional field, prepare, stay on point, be kind, and do try to remember that the conversation that you always make with people is the way that they will remember you, because this is the way that we connect as people at all times. We communicate, we speak, we make gestures with our hands, even if it's through Microsoft Teams video or it's in life. That's the way we are being perceived. So our conversational skills, our communicational skills is like one of the top 2 reasons why people do come to you or us and do business with each other. So yeah, communication, very, very important thing. How do you guys like my communications with you?
Good. I haven't noticed this going from topic to topic.
Really?
On a
Nice.
personal level. But yeah, it is all about that. And it's about clear expectations, setting them, meeting the expectations, and also about listening, right? Because communication is not only about talking and delivering information,
Sure.
it's about how we receive information and what we do with that as well. So definitely. And I think we cannot like forget that it's not just talking right now like this, it's also the social media appearance, it's how we appear like in terms of our attire that sends a communicative message as well, especially when we speak about interviews, you know, candidates getting dressed up for interviews sends a message that it's such a big and broad topic that I think depending on the situation you really need to take into account what will be judged, so to say. Is it just your argument, is it the way how you appear, or anything else? But yeah, cannot be put aside.
Communication.
Communication, yeah. I love the points you mentioned in the post. What would I add? Don't blame people. Don't blame people. I think we had it last week. It was a bit weird situation with a, would say, not a customer, but somebody who wants to work with us, and he was like a bit pretty harsh, and yeah, why would we do things like that? So that was a bit weird. Be kind and don't blame other people. I want to add. So
yeah. I like that we covered topics that could be live topics in general, you know, communication, skills, like literally everything. So in case you would like us to elaborate on one of these topics, please do let us know, because yeah, that would help us to prepare also for the next ones. All right, moving on to the next post.
Yes, and it's about
It's about candidates, the good and the bad ones. I love the discussion that came up here. I felt like talking about blaming someone. It felt like I'm blaming the good and the bad candidates. So it was interesting to see the comment section. But going step by step, like I wrote a post about looking for a new job requires a particular set of skills. In my opinion, looking for a new job is a job itself. So it needs to be treated like that. It's not something you just do on the side if your priority is actually to find a job in no time. So yeah, it got 8.5 thousand impressions, 36 likes, and a discussion of 16 comments. And people, not only candidates, but also HR and recruiters jumped into the conversation, adding their 5 cents to it. And I really liked it. So it was very hot. But yeah, I compared a good job seeker versus not a bad one, but not so good one, based on my experience and also the feedback that we are getting from our clients. Because I mean, client knows what they're looking for, you know, communication skills, attire, what we already discussed. So I went into detail describing a good job seeker. So in my opinion, it's someone who is personalizing their CV to each and every role they apply for. They have the right format of the CV, that it's also easy to read. They track their application status so that they know in which stage where they are in the process and what's to follow. They do follow-ups as well so that they know what's happening with their application. And I think it's such a crucial point because a lot of people, they send the application or they do the interview, but they never follow up because they think that the next step should be coming from the company. But I think if you want to take this job search thing seriously, you are the one involved in it. So you also need to take charge of the process and follow up and let them know that, hey, I'm here. I sent my application. What's the status? The other thing is that I think good job seekers prepare for job interviews. They do write thank you emails, and they know that networking is key in finding a new job. compared to not so great ones. So basically, kind of the same list, just the opposite thing. Wrong formatting, not preparing for interviews, don't plan their career skills, have no idea about the paperwork that they would need in order to be hired, don't adapt to the interview process, disappear even, not having a consistent communication, and yeah, find excuses sometimes for everything. I also actually can give a good example. So I had a candidate in an interview process, I think a week or 2 weeks ago. They couldn't make it to the interview. So they wrote an email to the hiring manager. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it because of an emergency, but I'm free at this day, this time. Would that suit you as well? Great example. Compared to one candidate of mine, for example, this week, that wrote an email saying, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it to an interview. Best regards, da-da-da. Okay, not able to make it. Are they still interested in the process? When they would be available for the interview? So you see two complete comparisons. And I like the discussion because people were like, yeah, I'm not a people pleaser. Why should I go and do all these things? And then I kind of went back to my post and read all the points that I made under the good job seeker. And the only thing where I could say, okay, that would be pleasing someone is the fact that you would write a thank you email. All the rest of the things are, in my opinion, completely essential in order for you to get hired. Prepare for an interview, have a good formatting. Don't see anything regarding pleasing someone else here. It's about you being representable, right, to the outside world. And there were people arguing about why do I need to adapt to an interviewer? Therefore, you lose a chance to find a different person for organization. That you shouldn't be adopting. Why to do that? It's so interesting how people actually see what you write about, right? So that was something that got me really thinking. I don't know how you see it, guys, but I think if you look for a job, you want to make yourself representable, and in order to find a new work in no time, right? I mean, we all have been a mix of both, and a good and a not so good job seeker, right? It depends on what's going on in our lives, apart from the job search process as such. But yeah.
Well, from my side, here. I do agree with those points, by the way. I think it's very crucial to understand that, for example, the best example to this would be, again, there are two specialists with very similar CVs, so very similar skills, same age group, I don't know, like two very similar people. And they both send in their resume. They both go to, for example, the first interview. There is so much difference that can happen in their actions that decide which one of them will be hired. So 100%. For example, as an HR person, as a head of IT person, as a recruiter, if a candidate is showing same gratitude, joy, happiness, interest in the process, like what's happening, can I help, like if you have some questions, reach out, like so many things a candidate can do. And this way, of course, to any company, to any HR recruiter, to any head of IT, to any manager who sees such a candidate, yeah, sure, of course I would want him in my team because he's so cool. Like this is the person that we would like to have in our team, as opposed to another person who just sent in their resume, who he came, let's say he came to the interview, he did okay, but after that, like he has no interest whatsoever, as opposed to the candidate who is showing interest, always there, always making himself known, like, hey, I'm here, I'm waiting. So that right there is telling you all that you need to know about what's the difference and why should you do it, because you never know, maybe you are the candidate who is not doing anything and some other candidate with a very similar skill like you is doing a lot more, and he will most likely be hired over you. And it once that question comes up, like, why not me? Well, that would be the answer. Like, you didn't show enough motivation to getting this job. That would be my point of view.
Yeah, and the way you show yourself in between, if you're the active one, already says a lot about how you would be doing your job. If you're someone that people can rely on, if you are, I don't know, on time, if you are polite. I actually do have one hiring manager that really pays attention to like grammatics, like how the email is composed. Does it have failure? And also in that sense, like finding out what the candidate is like. So I think these are small things, but they play a huge difference in the process. And I think it doesn't cost that much time and energy to do these small things. And calling it pleasing someone, I don't know, but definitely it's a way how to get ahead today much quicker if you're looking for a new role. Ersin, you probably have a different idea, right?
No, I think, the worst job seeker after my university. I had so many interviews, and so I was really bad. I have never seen, in my interviews, I have never seen somebody who did the worse interview than one of mine. But did you guys have some courses at school or something like that, how to apply for how to be a good job seeker?
I don't think we had like courses per se. We did have a lecture about writing a CV. That much I remember. But of course it was, I mean, that was like what, 15 years ago. The times were totally different. The look of resumes was totally different. And now I still do have my first resume from school somewhere saved, and it's, I wouldn't get hired today. It doesn't matter what skills are on there. The resume is just not good. But I think we did have something like this about, it was a resume plus a motivation letter. So yeah, something like that. So it's not like absolutely zero, but still, it would be a great thing to have, I think, in school maybe, or a little preparation for the real world.
Yeah, so learning some life skills. But I challenge you, Maija, to post this CV one day for us to see, just as a comparison, what it was like 50 years ago and what it would be like today. But no, I cannot recall having such a course in school. So it's literally all based on the experiences that I have gone through, that we have come up with all these things and seeing and being in these interview processes. And I think that's why we share it so much for someone who does have no idea about what it's like to go through this job search process, would have at least a little idea from the behind the scenes what it's like and what they should pay attention to. So yeah, but I really wish schools, or I don't know, some other instances that get to work together with kids, people who are shortly before applying for their jobs, would know how to actually do that. Yeah. Did you have such course, Ersin, in Germany?
No. That's why I'm asking. I think that would help a lot of people to get a job.
On the other way, I remember a time when back in 2018, when came back from traveling, I had to go to the job center to sign up as an unemployed person. And I had to go through these courses. But I have to be honest, the way how I experienced them with the eyes of a recruiter myself, how I would do it on a daily basis, it's so, how do you say, detached from the reality itself. Yeah. And I thought, okay, if we go on with these CVs and motivation letters, no wonder that these people unfortunately don't get hired quicker. You know, I kind of took an initiative and I was like, guys, here's my business cards. I'm making a business. In case you need any help, reach out. And some actually did. And they were thankful about the tips and everything. But of course, it might have not been the nicest thing for me to do. But still, I kind of felt sorry. So it can be a good thing, but you have to take it with a pinch of salt, you know. and maybe still speak with someone from the industry who can give you a bit more
Yeah.
insights on it. Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We have,
All right. The last one, I would say.
or the first one from Ersin that you will see
Yeah.
on this in this format.
This one.
Please.
And boom. Yeah.
Yay.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, you have the other side from the interview, how to be a good interviewer. Why I did write this post was because I had bad a bad interview experience, I would say. The candidate was great. He was committed. I would say he really wanted the job, but in the end, it doesn't work. It didn't work out because of a really, really bad interviewer. Yeah. So he wasn't on time. This post is in German, but I think we can translate it a bit. Yeah, I mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 topics, 7. Yeah, to be a good interviewer. The first one, he wasn't on time. That was the first thing I recognized because he was, I think it was at 4 o'clock, and he was there in 4:08, 4:07, so pretty late. It was
Pretty
also
late,
a weird experience for me because I'm not the small talk guy how to spend 7 minutes with a candidate in this call. Everybody is a bit stressed, and it was like, really, come or not. Yeah, the next one, he was not prepared at all. No CV study or something like that. He was like, yeah, what have you done? Who was your last employer? And things like that. So you don't need to ask that in an interview. You can, look at the CV. Yeah, and some other points. So yeah, this post was pretty successful, I would say. For my posts, something about 2,000, 3,000 views.
Wow, that's very good.
Yeah, I think that triggered some people.
Sounds very good, because I mean, we speak a lot about candidates, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. On the other side, we see the interviewers, right? So yeah, it's also interesting for us, and I think very useful to give this kind of feedback about things that they can improve, or they could do a bit more different in order to get the right talent. Because in these days, it's all about, like we said, communication, being interested in the other person, and it's something you feel from the first minute, right? And we have also had interviews where candidates afterwards say, no, I mean, it was a great interview, thank you for the time, but it does not fit like the way how I see things need to be going. The communication was not there. Our points on live technical stuff are totally different, so I'm just gonna leave it here. And yeah, very often it is based, or it is because of the interviewer, because I think it's also a skill that can be learned, but not always the person who does the interview is an HR person who's actually skilled in doing that or trained to do an interview, know how to do it. Very often those are managers, technical people who have grown into this role without an actual training about how to do a proper interview, but now they need to hire for their team, so they kind of come up with their own plan how they think it would be good. So I think having a feedback on that or some tips and tricks is a great thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's also like a interviewer type who, like we do have this one client who every candidate that goes to interview with this client comes back and says, wow, this was such a great interview. I had such good communication with the person. It was amazing. And this only shows that the interviewer is the first direct contact that the candidate has with a company. So it is so, so important and so crucial to have this first connection to be as good as possible. Like, your interests should align. The communication should be great. Like, it should be friendly. It should be like at least not all of your questions, but most of your questions should be answered. And you should be left with some feeling of a clarity of what this company represents. What do they do? How you could see yourself in it. And it depends a lot from the person who you are speaking with. So a good interviewer is a very, very big asset to a company, definitely. Otherwise, there are many good candidates that could be a amazing, perfect fit for a team, but just because of the wrong person that he is speaking to, he will not accept any offer from the company.
Well said. And I think it's so important to choose wisely who this person is that does the interview.
Yeah, definitely.
So true.
Great post, Ersin, by the way.
Really great post.
Thank you.
Love your post. So Ersin always writes in English, but his posts are so on point. In German, but his posts are so on point and so juicy. So follow him for more insights on what it's like to be a recruiter in Ersin's shoes.
Yeah.
So definitely do that. I think we're finished with the posts for this time, right?
Yeah, I think we are.
Right.
I think we are.
Yeah, I was having a crazy. I really love the topics that we had for last week. I mean, people might have seen the posts. There was one post of mine that was really like popping out. It got over 50,000 impressions and 500
50
likes
already.
So it really went viral. I'll tell you more about it the next time we speak, because we decided to go on with another live on, I think it's the 22nd of December, on a Thursday before Christmas.
Last live of the year.
Yeah, we'll talk about it there most likely, but yeah, that went crazy. But it also shows, again, it's about writing, being frequent, being there, and the right people appreciate it at the end of the day. Yeah. Here below, by the way, I didn't see it, say it in the beginning. You see all our current job openings. So if you find yourself in any of them or would like to hear some more information about it, please do let us know. We all can help you, regardless of the job you would choose. And thank you so much for being here, spending your lunchtime with us. It was a lot of fun, I would say. See us shortly before Christmas for a more Christmassy event together.
Yeah, don't miss our last live. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very, very cool. And it's just before the big holidays where everybody is rushing off. So do come, do join us. It will be a great, great time.
Definitely. Yeah. Then have a nice week. Happy Thursday. Today is a big football match for Germany. So don't miss it. Yeah.
I know what Ersin's going to be doing.
Evening is planned. All right. Stay tuned for the next event, and thanks for joining today. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye.